So I just got out of seeing Scream 7. Let me just preface this by saying I'm a huge Scream fan. When I grew up in the era of YouTube where you could actually watch movies on there for free before they got taken down like 6 months later, it was a great time. I saw Scream 1 all by myself in a dark room late at night on my little Lenovo laptop that probably ran about as good as a mouse on a treadmill with 3 broken legs. It was amazing. I didn't see the twist coming. I didn't see anything coming. I really couldn't figure out who the killer was going to be because they threw such a good wrench into your fucking thought process with the little fake out at the end with Billy Loomis and Stu. 2 killers. It was awesome. I love Scream. I love every single Scream movie. Yes, even 5. Okay, a lot of people actually like 5, I personally didn't, but I even liked 5. And I even like 3, the one that most people say is their lowest rated Scream movie. I actually like it, especially as time goes on and AI gets better. I can believe that Scream 3 happened, if you just kind of position it as being a few years later and maybe he had a friend with access to technology. So that killer is realistic to me. And only having 1 killer, my brother pointed out, was actually a pretty good twist because you're expecting 2 people. So someone who has a decent amount of screen time, like the director, I forget his name, that's horrible. I am a Scream fan, but I'm going off the top of my head. I'm really focused in on this movie, though, because we need to talk about this movie. Oh my god. Okay, look, let's just start with one thing, alright? There are things to like about this movie. Let's be clear. There are plenty of things to like about it. The kills are actually quite creative, and some of them are genuinely like homages to much gruesomer villains, like Michael Myers, Jason. But the thing is, right, the kills are awesome. Some of the characterization isn't bad, the writing isn't amateur at least, but it just feels like a by-the-numbers horror movie, and the one thing you want most in the movie to be good, because even the worst Scream movies have at least something like this going for it, the reveal, the person you're waiting to see behind the mask. Well, I got news for you, it sucks. The reveal is awful. If I told you that it is not an exaggeration or a lie when other YouTubers, spoiler-free, told you that it was basically people you would never guess because they were people that had little to no screen time. If I told you that that's actually the truth, would you believe me? Some of you are still going to go see it and say, no, it can't be that bad. That's what I did. I'm a huge fan, and I did want to cover it on my channel regardless, but man, I went with the hope that maybe they were wrong or the culture just was misunderstood, because I know these movies aren't always the highest of art, mainly the sequels, mind you. The first 2 are, and then the rest are very subjective. I'm fine with that. I like a lot of bad slasher films. Some of the worst fucking Nightmare on Elm Street movies are my favorite movies to watch. But no, it is exactly what I worried it was. Ghostface has been killed, officially. I mean, they can't come back from this. They're trying to turn Sidney Prescott's daughter, Tatum, into, I don't know, the new Survivor, but they go so hard into her being, like, badass and overcoming her trauma that it kind of wraps around to being like, what's she gonna go through in the next movie? Just be a generic Survivor girl? Look, Neve Campbell can, quip all the one-liners she wants. She has fucking earned them. You have not. It just feels so forced. You can tell it's the studio trying to replace Tuesday Addams, or the fuck ever her name is, and the other bitch that got fired like Gina Carano got fired from Disney. All dumb reasons, all corporate bullshit. I'm not happy about it, but I was willing to give this movie a chance because I'm like, okay, Kevin Williamson writing and directing, it's gotta be good. It's gotta at least be decent. And, Ice Nine Kills gets a track. I mean, I was really hyped. And then it just sucked. It sucked so bad. I genuinely... Ghostface shit the bed and started rolling around in it like a fucking pig and pissing himself. It's awful. I want to take the bedpan and smack Ghost fucking face upside the head. I'm genuinely losing my ability to speak. I don't think this is going to be a long video. I can't think of much to say. I'm genuinely so disappointed. Without spoiling, what do I say? I know this is a little rambly and I should be getting this down by now, but this one really threw me for a loop. I went into this expecting a movie that was going to be, well, at least decent and competent. And yeah, the cinematography and the basic parts of it are competent, but when I said competent, I didn't mean like literally bare bones minimum with like 1 or 2 good kills. I meant like a good movie, just maybe not a great one, like some of the previous Screams or even one of the new ones. I liked Scream 6, I'm gonna just say it. I liked Scream 6. I liked Scream 5 to an extent. I loved Scream 4. It doesn't have to end. You can make more stories with or without Neve Campbell. But they just don't. They fucked it. This is their chance to move on and write something good. They've got a nice structure here for a story about moving on and, you know, not passing your trauma on to your daughter, but then unintentionally doing so, and her having to cope with your history and then make a path for herself. There's something there, but it's not explored well, it's not done well, and it feels like we're split between a bunch of characters that gonna get picked off. They kind of get picked off too quickly, honestly. There is like 2 or 3 deaths within the first 30 minutes. It's so much. There's so much death, and that sounds good, but it's just enough to make you go, wait, hold on a minute. Then who's the killer gonna be? And that's where they get you. They basically give away, to a degree, if you're astute like my brother was. We figured it out pretty quick. And it pissed us off that we were right. Because this movie is supposed to be above that kind of slasher garbage. It's supposed to homage it. It's supposed to be an homage and a send-up, a love letter to horror movies. It's not supposed to fall down to the lowest ranks of them. But I can officially say it. I don't want to say it. I've never in all my life thought I would be able to say it, but this Scream movie is skippable. All the rest, you can make your subjective tier lists. I don't think most Scream fans, true, hard Scream fans, hard as hell underneath those robes, man, I don't think they'd ever skip a single Scream movie. Maybe 3, but that's the olden days. I really do believe it's coming around to be sort of a goofy Hollywood schlock movie with some self-awareness to kind of keep it together, and some big set pieces. But no. This one is so bad and so honestly crappy. I hope they retcon it in the next movie. I hope they take the feedback, and I hope they undo everything they did in this movie. This movie is a stain in the britches of Ghostface's costume. It's literally worthless. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. I know some of you out there might have enjoyed it or thought it wasn't that bad, and I know I sound like I'm being dramatic, but I'm sorry. That killer reveal alone is worthy of never watching another Scream movie again. If that's how they show respect to us. There's some dialogue at the end specifically. I want to end off this little rant, but I want to just say there is something at the end specifically I want to mention. At the end of the movie, the killers are going through this dialogue, right? They're talking to each other about like why they do what they do, and not only does it basically just wrap around to being like one Ghostface that's most important and the rest are just being like lackeys practically, but one of them gets iced immediately. I'm not going to say which one or when, but basically only one Ghostface puts up a fight, and guess what? It's the most unrealistic one. I know this movie has played with this before, but at least there was somebody under the mask that per the kills you could believe. Based on some of these Michael Myers-esque feats of strength, there is no fucking way any of the people, after one of them goes away, could possibly have done it. It's so... I can't believe it. And the director, Kevin Williamson, has stated he didn't want to jump the shark with a certain choice. You can go Google it if you want to find out what that choice was, what the narrative choice he chose to go against was. No. He didn't want to do that. That would be jumping the shark, even though they've been planning it since the fucking, like, late 90s, early 2000s. Oh, no. We can't do that. You know what we're going to do instead? We're going to tease you with it, then basically make fun of you for thinking it was going to happen, and then... we're gonna have these be the worst killers in the entire series, and then try to end on some unearned power couple shit. Oh, and we're gonna make somebody survive something honestly just as unbelievable as the so-called shark that Kevin Williamson didn't want to jump. Well, let me tell you something, buddy. You are writing the Scream movies. You wrote the first one. You will always have my respect for that. And directing's not easy, and writing and directing's even harder. But dude, you're a fucking god amongst horror writers for writing Scream 1, for writing any Scream movie before this one. I feel betrayed, I really do. It sounds dramatic, but this is like my Star Wars. This is my fucking Star Wars The Force Awakens. It's so garbage in attempting to try to work around their own shortcomings and make more movies. They want to have Scream 8, 9, and 10, and they want them to all be badass. They've already greenlit the next Scream movie. This was their assurance. They were assured of themselves that this would be a hit. And here's the thing. They're right in one capacity. They are definitely making their money back on this motherfucker. But the fans are not going to be happy. I think many of them are coping right now. The rest are understandably pissed. And anybody who's not a huge Scream fan who just remembers the first couple and goes to see this... By the way, they basically ignore all the rest of the Scream movies. 5 and 6 basically make the plot all about it, but mainly 6, right? And it was a great homage to all the previous killers, all of them, even the ones you don't really love so much, but they make little digs at like the 3rd movie and shit. But then this movie seems to all but drop everything except the first 2 movies. It's kind of crazy. It feels like they're trying to retcon. So if you're going to retcon, you might as well retcon everything except the first 2. And I mean everything, this one included, because this movie sucked donkey shit through a straw. I would rather get fucked up the ass by a porcupine. It was so uncomfortable sitting in that seat and expecting the movie to get better, like I was huffing copium up my crack hole. It was so sad. I genuinely felt like a fucking pathetic loser, a big L tattooed on my forehead. When I walked out of there, I was genuinely kind of sick to my stomach. I just tossed the popcorn, the snacks, the candy. I didn't keep it. It felt like souvenirs of the world's worst amusement park. I didn't want to... Look, all this rambling is to say, if you're a Scream fan and you haven't seen it, just know that anything you think's going to happen, it's probably not going to happen. At least not in the way you think. And honestly, what a disappointment that Stu was involved in this at all. The character and the fucking actor, Matthew Lillard. It's just such a shame that this is the movie he decided to come back in. I'm not saying in what capacity or how. I'm just saying, however you're expecting it, it's not going to happen in the way you think. It's not going to be fun. And anybody you guess to be the killer is a red herring, because they chose the absolute lowest IQ individuals in the room to be the killer, as if, again, sticking up the middle finger. It's like they traded meta humor and actual good jokes and references and homages for just sticking their middle fingers up the audience and saying, ha ha ha, you thought, bitch. It's so... I'm finding my stride now toward the end, but it's... I hope you kind of understand this rambling is mostly for me. It's therapeutic. If you didn't like the movie, or you heard about it and you're pissed off, let this be catharsis for you. I am with you. I stand in solidarity. The 7th movie didn't happen. It has been delayed indefinitely and it will never be released. It never happened. I've never saw 7. What's Scream 7? I just saw Scream 6, an actually decent movie. Can't wait to see what happens to those characters. Oh wait, they're getting fired? Okay, I guess Scream's over with. I'm not going to see the next movie. I'm going to wait for it to be on streaming or like pirate it. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving them a goddamn cent unless the trailer basically retcons everything that happened in this movie, because holy shit, the disrespect. But I'll still be going to horror cons. I'm still going to be embracing Scream. I'm not going to give up after one horrible movie, but it was bad enough that I do need a break. I'm disappointed. 5 and 6 were proof that Scream can still be fresh and hip and cool. You can't honestly turn around then and write something this bad, with the OG writer no less. It's spitting on the grave of Scream. It really is. Maybe it needs another 10-year hiatus like it did between Scream 4 and Scream 5. Maybe that's what it needs. I don't know. But anyway, this is going to get... I don't want this to even be 15 minutes. I want this to be like 10-ish minutes, so I'm going to stop rambling here. Thank you for listening. I got a new review coming on the way. It's a little different, but after that, we're back to Titanic, the animated movie, and a bunch of other shit. So if you're a fan of my normal crap, I got more coming. And if you're a fan of this rambling shit, I've got more coming. I've got a lot of stuff coming. Between this and streaming, go check out my streams, by the way. It'll be linked in the description. You know, it's just... Honestly, I just want to talk horror with some people. On stream, in the comments, wherever. Just let me know what you thought about the movie. If I'm being dramatic... Let's be adults about it. I don't blame you for liking it. Don't blame me for hating it. You know what I mean? We'll just have a nice discussion. I'd like to see if I'm wrong on this in some capacity, but I really do think most of you, with time, will come to realize just how bad these killers were. Just how unforgivable a lot of the dialogue comes across as. Like, it's really insulting to the intelligence of the people who come to these movies and expect a decent story and a good mystery. That's all Scream needs to do to succeed. Not saying that's always easy, but that's all they needed to do, was give us another set of good killers, maybe a good twist. Fuck, they can even go the one killer route again. I don't give a fuck. Give me something, though. Make the killer memorable. These characters, I forget them. I literally forget most of their names, what scenes they appeared in. That's how bad it is. These aren't killers you can go, oh, I can kind of see it, or like, wow, that's shocking because it's so out there, but like, let's hear their motive. No, their motives don't make sense. I don't mean in like the psycho killer way. I mean, they just don't make sense. The killers don't make sense, and that is the core of Scream. You fucked up the heart of Scream. Now there's nothing pumping blood to the rest of it, and it's just a cold fucking corpse. Well, anyway, my voice is getting fucking strained because I'm working myself up. I apologize if I don't sound the greatest. This microphone, I want to build like a little booth in here for when I want to do random shit like this. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. I hope you have a good night. I hope you have many more Screams in the future that are much better, and if not, you've got 6 great Screams to watch. Go watch any other one than this, alright? Build a home theater and watch the fucking 6 others in a row, and I promise you, by the time you get to 7, you will realize, even if you're a fan of the 7th and think it's fine, you will realize what a fucking letdown it was. Peace, guys.